What's up? Welcome to episode 285 of the Dental Marketer Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Arias, and I just want to take a small moment and say, guys, we are reaching the end of this crazy year, 2020. And man, so much has happened, but believe it or not, we have grown here on the Dental Marketer world, and the listeners in the Dental Marketer Podcast have grown. And if you're a new listener, welcome. Thank you so much for finding us. I hope we're bringing you exactly what you need to hear. I just want to bring you content. I want to help you grow. I want to make your life easier. If you're an OG listener, meaning if you were listening before the triple digits, before we ever even reached 100, if you were one of the ones who listened when we were like episode 10, where it was just me, not even interviewing anybody, man, thank you so much for sticking by, for tuning in all the time, for reaching out, for giving us feedback, and so much more. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. It means more than you will ever know. So thank you guys so much for always interacting. And by interacting, I mean you can either go onto the dentalmarketer.org and click connect and you message me or anything like that, or just by pushing play while you're cutting the lawn or mowing the lawn or while you're driving or anything like that. Just if you're listening to any episode and you're interacting, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. So everything I oversee, I love to do, but this is by far the thing I love the most, which is talking to you, talking to the guests, podcasting. I absolutely love having conversations and learning and podcasting, and I want you guys to learn too and grow as well. So always don't feel shy. Don't feel shy to reach out to me, whether it's on the Dental Marketer Society, which is our Facebook group, or if it's on our website, thedentalmarketer.org, and then you can click on connect and reach out to me and give me any requests that you want to hear, any questions or concerns that you want answered or anything like that, any feedback, definitely reach out to me there and I will deliver for you guys. So anyways, in this episode, I'm speaking, it's a great episode. I had so much fun recording this because it's with three people. It's with Dr. Evan Matthysse, it's with Ruben Camp, and it's also with Brian Ash. And we're talking basically, so I made a post and we said, who has open dental, who just got open dental, but does not have any third-party software? That means they don't have anything like, you know what I mean, like any patient communication softwares, any online scheduling, none of that. They just have open dental. And Evan Matthysse replied back, he's like, I do. So I said, hey man, come on the episode and let Ruben Camp and Brian Ash and myself, let's answer any questions or concerns you have about this in an unbiased way, right? We're not going to be trying to lean more towards, a company that sponsors us or anything like that. No, we just wanted to be pure and open according to what he wants, which obviously, you want the best bang for your buck and so much more. So that's exactly what we do in this episode. So if you are in the same shoes, if you are like, man, I have open dental, but I want to switch third-party softwares, or I have no third-party softwares or anything like that, which is the best bang for my buck according to what I want, right? And if what you want is like close to what Dr. Evan Matthysse wants, then maybe you guys can, communicate and talk to each other. So anyways, this was such a fun episode. So without further delay, here is Ruben Camp, Brian Ash, and Dr. Evan Matthysse. Evan Matthysse.
Featured.
I know, featured. Evan Matthysse. And we also have on with us Ruben Camp and Dr. Brian Ash. No, I'm just kidding. Just Brian Ash.
It's pronounced Kampf, actually. You've been mispronouncing this whole time.
Is it really or no?
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
It's just kidding.
No. But we have Dr. Evan Matthysse with us. And this is going to be a really interesting episode. But before we get into like the questions and all that stuff, Dr. Matthysse, can you tell us a little bit about your past, your present? How did you get to where you are today?
Okay, so I was a career changer, business background, went to dental school in NYU in 2012, graduated 16, residency for a year in the Bronx. I was out in private practice for about 3 years. I was in the New York, New Jersey area, and then I didn't really want to be there anymore because everything is too damn expensive. And I was eyeing up a couple different areas, and was scoping out Texas. And then COVID hit, and that was just the last straw for me. So I quit my jobs, packed up everything I owned into a single vehicle, drove 2,000 miles, and got down to Texas.
Wow.
Uh, and then about a month later, I got into negotiations for a practice, and September I closed on it. So here we are.
Man. Why Texas?
Why not, man?
What part of Texas actually are you in?
I'm in Austin.
Oh, okay. That's nice. That's a really, really good
Yeah.
part about it.
So it's just a population boom is going on here. There's just a lot of tech companies coming in. The population growth is going up, up, up. There's no state taxes. There's no local taxes, and it's 30 minutes from a lake. So, I mean, what's there not to like about that?
So you're 30 minutes from Lake Travis?
Yep.
Oh man. And I over here moved to LA thinking it would be better.
Ah.
And yeah, right. I was from Houston, so I mean, it was man, I really like Texas. Maybe one day we'll go back there. So you got a transition, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was how did you find that transition?
So this was a practice that I had looked at originally just on a broker site. I think it was like DDS Match, and
Mhm.
just for kicks, I just looked at what was available down there. Um, Talked to the broker initially about it, but they were like, "Oh, we got a buyer." And then right about the time I was packing up and moving, um, broker contacts me like the week before I move, and he was like, "Hey, that buyer fell through. You want to come see it?" So the first week I was down in Texas, I just was like, "Yeah, let's go see it."
Nice.
Uh,
And then love at first sight. You got it. Yeah.
there were some negotiations that went back and forth, but I talked to my accountant and ran the numbers with him, and he was like, "Yeah, absolutely, you should do this. Yeah, 100%."
Nice, man. So you're just moving in, getting everything settled. And so what this episode's going to be about, hopefully it's going to help you, Evan, but at the same time, the listener better understand which third-party vendors, software, because there's so little of them. So we're going to see which one best suits you, especially if you have Open Dental, because you just got Open Dental, right?
Yep. So they had some existing software that I had never heard of before, and we decided to go with Open Dental, and we're about to flip the switch and convert on December 11th.
Gotcha. Okay. So what did they have before that?
Something called PBS.
Have you ever heard of that, Ruben? PBS?
It's an endodontic software.
It is.
PBS Endo is the only time I've heard those letters together.
I've heard
Yeah, so it's the same software, but they stopped doing updates for general in like I think like 2015. They keep doing it for endo, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Yeah.
I know the TV station PBS, but yeah.
So
So let me
they
first
had
ask
some
you, huh?
they had some unique ways of doing things. They did scheduling on an actual physical calendar.
You didn't like it? You didn't like how PBS was running, or maybe just because of the updates?
If I'm going to sink my time and efforts into something, I don't want to learn this system. I'm not going to use it, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And it was just like just a word of mouth. A bunch of my buddies who have bought practices went with Open Dental, and they said it's cheap and it does the job. And I was like, okay, fine, sounds good.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me first
Open
ask
Dental
you.
is like the overwhelming, we'll end up doing like 60 startup practices this year. And like, we're talking about like 57 out of 60 went with Open Dental.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Okay. So then, Evan, do you have any questions or concerns about which patient communication software or phone VoIP service or imaging software and all that stuff to choose for your practice, or do you feel you already know which one is the best based on like your research?
Oh no, we we need to know what the best ones are. We haven't selected officially anything yet. The phones here were just straight up AT&T landlines, which they were paying quite a bit for. So we need to go to VoIP. So it seems like that's going to be either Weave or Mango. Seems to be
Mhm.
the VoIP ones there that integrate with this thing.
I don't know. What do you think?
We're going to start there? Oh, God. All right.
What do you
So-
want to start, that one, or we can
all
do
right.
imaging software, because we actually we
Yeah.
don't have any digital X-rays yet. We actually have physical, run them through the film processor X-rays here.
Let's start with that one. That one's a nice warm up.
All right,
So,
cool.
Open Dental is great because essentially it allows you to integrate with any imaging software. All right. So, what I want you to do, Evan, and people that are in the same position, is I want you to do one exercise. Get the sensor that you want to use. Right. That's step one. So, kind of table the imaging software piece for now. Get the sensor that you're comfortable with. If you're used to using a Dexis, a Schick, a Gendex, Carestream, those are kind of higher end sensors. You're probably only going to be happy with higher end sensors because it's almost like you've been using a 4K TV and you're not going back to HD. But there's a giant middle, right? There's XDR, and there's Soda, and there's Apex, Clio. Like there's so many people in the middle, but I say this to say, choose the sensor that you're happy with the image quality first, and then what makes the most sense is to use their native software, because the sensor image quality will show up best when the sensor is made to use that imaging software. Okay, because all these sensors generate really terrible raw image files, and actually a lot of the technology goes into image processing post-acquisition, and that is software. And so, Apteryx is a really popular solution, and it's really good when you're using multiple sensors, right? Let's say you have a Schick and a Carestream and a Gendex, you can use them all inside of Apteryx. That's really great. But if you're starting from scratch, pick the sensor you love, use their native imaging software, Open Dental will bridge to it.
Okay. And any of these software have a monthly fee on them?
Dexis is the one that I'll warn you about, because they will charge you a monthly fee and a sensor warranty for the grace of getting the sensor half price if it breaks.
Wow, lucky us, huh?
So then, yeah, attached to that is so what other imaging devices do we need to consider? We need to consider PAN, CBCT, and intraoral camera. So any PAN, it's a third-party integration called a Twain. Those will just go into any software you choose. Mouthwatch is kind of like the default favorite, cheap camera out there. That will go into any software. And then a CBCT software is always separate. So don't worry about, you're using, let's say, a Vatek machine, but you're using XDR software, right? Because you're still going to have to use the 2D software and then a separate 3D software.
Okay.
So with that, the imaging software, Evan, do you feel like, were you already leaning towards one specifically?
So the ones I've seen so far, I've seen Schick, I've seen Vatek, and I've seen Plan Mecca. The Schick centers had some awfully nice quality. They just showed me that, I think, yesterday. They were on the higher end of the price range, but those that image quality was really nice. It was pretty fantastic.
Gotcha. So far right now, it might be Schick, right?
Yeah.
Is there...
Well, he
of...
test drove the Tesla Model S. That's the problem. Now every other car is going to seem like a peasant mobile.
How much is a Schick right now?
So they're Vatex were about 7. I want to say the Plan Meccas were 6, and I want to say the Schick was 10.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Ruben, do you normally see people who get that with Open Dental? Is it like, man, you're making it, like you're doing great things now, like it's going better?
I try to put myself in the position of my clients time to time. I mean, my line of thought goes, this drives what I find and can diagnose and do treatment planning off of. So it makes sense to spend a little bit more money on a sensor. And so, That's so for me, I'm going to lean towards something that's a little more higher end. I try to think of like the things in my business. If I spend more money on a tool and it allows me to detect more security flaws on a prospect's network so I can show them value, I'm probably going to spend that money. Is the closest thing I can kind of, related to. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So Schick.
Yeah,
So
on a
Evan,
direct correlation, I would say that the intraoral cam is the one that I don't want to use the dirty word sell, but sells the most dental treatment is the intraoral cam, and then the X-ray is probably right after that.
So Evan, what would you say? Because like historically, and I worked for Benco like 8 years ago before I started this company. It was like back then it was like you got to buy a $6,000 Digidoc and everyone shared it. But now it seems like everyone's moved to $300 mouthwash, but have them in every room so your hygienist can grab it, ready to go. Where does your kind of mindset go in that?
I've never used a mouthwash, so I don't know that one in particular. But that intraoral camera is important. It's really important because without the picture, they're just taking your word for it generally, because most of the time it doesn't hurt, so they have no idea. So the better the quality that you can get on those cameras, the more that they see it. You don't even have to say anything. You just put it up on the screen and they go, oh, that's in my mouth. Okay, let's fix that.
This is an area where, at least for our startup practices, and I'm not sure in your case, Evan, but if you're looking to get into like a Schick, and the price is going to be higher than say mouthwash, with open dental, because you're saving money there, you're also actually going to save, at least for a startup practice, the server needs are lower. So the price you're going to end up paying for a server might actually afford you to upgrade on those cameras. Now, I'm not sure if that's your case. You might be inheriting a server, but it is something to consider, at least for startup practices.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tesla is what I got from this. Tesla.
Buy the Tesla.
Buy the Tesla.
If don't test drive it if you're not ready to buy it.
Evan's nickname is Money Evan, so he got it. He can do it.
Well, the first time Evan and I spoke, he's like, "Hey, I just left where you live. Ha ha, going to
Austin. Okay, so
it's like Ruben, how's his taxes, buddy?
Sore subject.
I know, yeah. Okay, so then, any other questions about the imaging software, or any other mentions y'all want to mention about the imaging software when it comes to Open Dental?
I don't think so. So Apteryx is the only imaging software that'll take everybody, but it's not going to be as good. And if you're going to start up, you might as well stick with one because you get control over everything and just keep buying the same kind of sensor. As long as there's no monthly fee on the software itself, that seems to make sense.
Yeah, and I think Apteryx is also good for, let's say you are going with Schick, and Evan, you're a general dentist, right?
Yep.
So you might see a good kid every once in a while. But is it worth spending $10,000 to get a size 1 sensor?
Is it?
So that right? That's the thing. Like, okay, you get a size 2 adult sensor, you're going to use, that's your bread and butter, you're going to use it all day long. And that is another argument for Apteryx, because then you can get like an Apex Black Friday $3,500 sensor. But, you maybe use it once a week, once every couple of weeks.
I can't, like, if it's, I can't buy a size 1 and have it sit there. It would drive me up the wall because cash flow is tight initially. So with every piece of equipment that I have to buy right now, it has to be able to be used almost immediately and frequently. So I think it would be, if we're going to get one or a couple, they would all have to be the adult size.
Gotcha.
Yeah. See, Michael, this is why this is such a tough problem. This is just one. This is just one aspect of what Evan is deciding right now.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Practice is like it's like one of those old strategy games where like you just have a billion places that need the money, and you got to figure out the prioritizing and the timing of everyone.
Gotcha. Yeah. Best. So right now, Ruben, if we're like in Evan's position,
Yeah.
what's the best for, like, let's just say right now I'm very conservative, like in the sense I barely can spend anything right now, but I need something amazing. For the time being.
What's the I would say I'll give you a medium high, and a high. How about that?
Gotcha.
Mhm.
XDR is the medium option. I'm not going low. I'm only going high. In that middle range, kind of Vatek Carestream, medium high. And then I would say Gendex or Sheck. Right, so Gendex and Dexus are actually the same parent company. Danaher, they own Cavo. It's just Instrumentarium is like this whole conglomerate. And for whatever reason, you can go with Gendex, which is exactly the same sensor, it's just blue instead of black, and not have to worry about all the warranty crap.
Yeah, that was the other thing that they had. I think Vodtech was offering a 5-year warranty on the sensors, and a couple of the other ones were only like a couple of years.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So that's the imaging software, right? I don't know, Evan, if we may have just confused you more or we made it better, but
no, I think we're good on imaging.
Okay.
I think we're all going to be crying at the end of this podcast.
I feel like Brian's like, I'm good.
This is good prep for Thanksgiving. Back when we used to be able to go to a potluck and you had your choice of 7 different green bean casseroles.
Gotcha. Okay, so then now, do you want to start talking about the phone and VoIP services or the patient communication software?
I think one's going to lead into the other one because Weave also does all that stuff.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Ruben, let's talk about the
Start
phones.
with the phones.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a landscape with phones. It used to be super simple, and now it's not simple anymore. There are phone companies that amazingly just do phone systems. Imagine that. And then there are phone companies that do dental integrations. And then there are phone companies that partner with other softwares to emulate those integrations. All right, so kind of 3 different offerings let's thinking of. What Evan has right now in the office, they're landlines, but again, AT&T is just giving him a phone system. All right, the middle, which is, all right, you have Open Dental, you sign up for Yappy, Medento, or Flex, and then you integrate Mango. Well, now Mango integrates with those companies and Open Dental and emulates the Weave patient pop feature. You know what I'm talking about, where if a patient calls, date of birth, if they owe you money, if they didn't, the recall's open, that information, so your front desk can be as effective as possible on the phone. And then there's just Weave, who charges a lot of money, but will give you just about everything. And really up until a month ago, the huge hole in Weave's offering was they didn't have paperless forms. So they just added that, which makes this a little bit easier because you'd be like, all right, so I have Weave, so I have everything except I can't give my patients a paperless experience. So now I need to go pay Flex $250, a Medento $250, or Yappy the same price, and bolt that on, but then they're overlapping 90%.
Right, so I'm trying not to double up and pay for something that you're already getting from another service. Yeah, and this originally started off with the phone bill is too much. It was like $400 for a couple landlines, and I was like, okay, so we need to go get VoIP. So I went over to Weave, and then it's like, oh, we have this and 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 this as well. So I don't know what Weave does versus Meg. Like I don't really know what my options are for phones. If I would like the patient population, pop-ups to make the front desk as efficient as possible. And then somewhere in there, we also have to do some kind of dashboard practice viewing software.
Now, I have a quick question, Ruben. Is it, this is just from what I understand, with Weave, is it kind of like it's not built from like the ground up, right? It's more like they find somebody who does this and then they put it in their hub. They find somebody else who does, like a company, right? Like, let's just say they do pop-ups and then they put it in their hub. So whenever, like, let's just say Evan has an issue with pop-ups or something like that, he contacts Weave. then Weave has to contact that other company that does it for them. Is it like that?
No, they're going to be more
Okay.
like Google, right? Where Google acquires a company and then folds it into their platform. So everything looks like a Google product. So yeah, it is all bundled together. So yeah, it is a little more complicated when you have an issue and your stack is Open Dental, Mango, Medento, because if something goes wrong, which vendor is it?
If you want VoIP and you don't want the full package from Weave, what are the other options here?
All right. If you want VoIP, so you can just get Mango by itself, believe it or not. They will take your money. Phones. And that's what we use internally, because obviously we don't use dental software. We just have Mango service, and we run a 37, 38 person team off of that.
Or Ruben, what's your fluoride treatment percentage?
Oh man.
He's like, oh, but does it have, would Mango, so Mango, would that have everything that Evan's looking for as far as like the pop-ups and what else were you looking for, Evan?
We want the auto pop-ups from the patients that are calling. Yes. We would like to have some kind of patient communications in there. We're just literally using like a Google Voice number, and we're just texting patients for patient confirmations, which costs $0, which is fantastic. Yeah. And then at some level, I'm going to need some kind of dashboard, dental intel, PBN, some kind of dashboard practice software, which Weave is throwing into their big kit. So if you don't go with Weave, you got to get it elsewhere, et cetera.
Right. So they added in paperless and analytics into their, so that was smartly, those are their two biggest, openings, holes in their offering and their feature set. Because you had, all right, well, I still have to add in Yappy or Flex or Medento, and I need to maybe sign up and pay Dental Intel $700 a month for their reports that tell me I'm 10% more efficient with Alicia, my assistant, than Jessica.
That's how much Dental Intel is?
Oh, $700. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I initially contacted Local Med because I'm good. The reps are great, and I've been to like a couple events with them. And Local Med was purchased by Dental Intel, so now they're trying to get you to do Dental Intel if you do Local Med. Blah, blah, blah.
Wow,
yeah, and online scheduling with Local Med is very important because you need to address the elephant in the room, which is, I'm 33. I don't want to call somebody if I don't have to.
No, hell no.
Right? I just want to click a button and that's it.
No. Okay, so then what do we do? Where do we go from here then, as far as with that?
So it's, it sounds like, through talking with this, if you don't have a lot of time to evaluate all these things, Weave can just be that like, oh, well, screw it. I'll just go with Weave and they'll do everything.
Right. You could do that. But I kind of lean towards practice by numbers just because I pay attention to those guys. And I like the idea of their masterminding, coaching, etc. So I would love to be able to get practice by numbers, which would mean that if I got Weave, it'd be redundant.
Right. And maybe Flex, a lot of people like their treatment plan presentation software. Right. And they do that like in-house membership club automation. Medento does a really great job on the payment side. They also have the membership. They do a really good job on that as well. So it's like, there are those things in your business that you will, there's like the alpha version or like the limited version, but you're willing to pay for another product that delivers that service at like an A+ level. I have, especially in my business, I have several different analytics tools, even though my core software has these reports. I have these other softwares because they do a much better job presenting the information, and I don't have to waste a bunch of time manually running all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. So then how much is Weave? If we were to be like, okay, let's just do it. Let's go Weave.
700. It's in that 700 price range, but
Same as Dental Intel?
Yeah. So if you got both of them, that's 1,400 right there.
Okay. So then let's just say, cause it sounds like Evan, you're pretty, you want to do practice by numbers, right? So let's just say you get practice by numbers. That's the
How do I fill the other holes?
Yeah. How does he fill the other holes here?
So I almost need we need like a checklist, a spreadsheet, and like the checks and which one does which one, and go do like a grid. But okay, so you could do Mango for VoIP.
Yeah.
You go
PBN for the dashboard, and then you would still need what? The patient comms and
you would need
online
population?
scheduling
and paperless and online scheduling. So so now we're in you could go Medento, Flex,
Christ almighty.
Yappy, and add local med, or wait, Flex just released Flexbook, so you don't need local med in that scenario.
So it would be more like because
really clearing things up here, I think.
Was that the intention of this? I thought we were just vomiting information out there.
Let's do this. Let's create me something that is obviously like not the cheapest, but the most affordable, but at the same time with practice by numbers. So how does that look?
Okay. All right. So we have scenario 1, which is, all right, so Medento is $250. Okay.
What does Medento do?
The Medento does paperless, texting, reviews, reminders, what we call simply just the communication platform, which includes paperless.
Where does Swell fit into here?
Swell,
okay.
Swell's with Modento. So, I mean, when you get Modento, or is it right? It is, right? Yeah.
Well, okay, see? So they do have another offering, Medento plus Swell. So you pay more to get it. So, but they do have reviews built into it. Swell is just like what we talked about, like an A+ add-on when you're already getting the basic feature set. Swell is just so much better at reviews. They have a place, even if you're already getting it through one of these other providers.
Okay.
So it's just reviews. Yeah, it's reviews, but like they're amazing at it somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, I think of them like single feature set, amazing at reviews. Even so, you could suck it up, even if you know you're getting that through one of the other services.
Yeah. So right now, let's do like this. Let's put the foundation down, and then we can add on like that stuff, right? Like the Swell and stuff.
All right. So let's say we put in Medento. So now we have paperless. We have communication tools. We have reviews if we want to use it, right? We still need a phone system, so let's slide in Mango. Although I'll just mention they do have integrations with RingCentral and Jive as well, which are other just phone providers. So let's say Medento, Mango, and now we're really missing practice by numbers. So we're missing online scheduling.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, local med.
So Medento 250, local med 250.
Let me get my calculator really quick.
Evan, how many phones are you going to start with?
I think we got 3 lines in the office right now.
So maybe like 6 phones, 7 phones, like because these voice providers charge per handset.
Wait, what'd you say, Evan?
Okay. So not just like lines into the office, but you're also going to need like phones in the back office so you can transfer it back there. So what are we going to say? 3 at the front desk plus we need like 2 more. Maybe like 5.
So
I mean, you can get free phones with Mango. I know that.
The phones will come free, so they'll charge you about $25 a month per handset. And Evan, you'll just need 1 line. So it's the analog system that you actually need multiple lines to physically have a phone call roll over. But when you just have like a server handling all these calls, you can just have 1 line.
Okay.
So that will all collapse into 1. So let's call that phone bill $125 a month. You took Mango up on their free deal to get the phones. And then practice by numbers is how much?
I want to say they're like $300.
All right, so we're about $925 a month. So you just paid Open Dental $170. Your total software stack bill is about $1,100 a month.
Wait, where'd you
How much was a Medento?
$250.
$250.
So I got $250 for local med.
Oh, okay.
Open Dental at $170, Mango at $125, and practice by numbers at $300.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's $1,095, right? Okay. Can we get lower? Can we get lower and less? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who's keeping track of the score at home?
Brian, are you keeping track?
You don't hear that typewriter in the background?
Okay, got you.
Versus if you did Weave plus Locomed would be the only thing that's missing. So you're looking at basically the same thing, though. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 700.
It's actually like a little bit more expensive.
Well, I thought
because
Weave
you
was
still
700.
need. But 700 for weave, plus you need a local med, so that's 250. Now you're 1,000 plus open dental,
plus 170.
So you're right back up there at 1170.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we were at, let's just say
So
the
it's a
bench.
wash right now.
Yeah, 1,095. How can we get lower?
But Evan, you're not getting the practice by number analytics feature set. You're getting a very pared down throw-in analytics tool.
If you go weave route. Yeah.
I mean, so, for me, kind of and maybe not everyone practices this way, but I love using companies that have a singular focus and only care about being good at that one thing.
Sure. If we're going to translate it over to dental world, it's like a specialist versus a GD.
Mm-hmm.
It only does one thing all day long, baby.
Yeah, they're sending the hard cases to the endodontist.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't want to mess around with that.
So we're at 1,095. Evan, I'm pretty sure you would want like something more affordable, but at the same time, like less stuff to juggle with, right?
But yeah, that's a lot of interconnected stuff going on there. So yeah, obviously everybody wants it faster, cheaper, better, simpler.
So can we get that through this, or is this the best way with practice by numbers? I think we
is PBN.
I think we can
without sacrificing feature set, because you could use like Open Dental e-services, which are really not a competitive feature set compared to some of these other providers like Flex Medento and Yappy. You can get the number down, but you're really going to give up something you don't want to give up.
Can we? So this is the most. I guess like the cheapest is 1,095. There's nothing else that we can. You know what I mean?
You'd have to get these people in a room. And for them to make a deal. And then what's going to happen is Weave is going to replace their feature set and kick them out of the group.
So then this right here, this Mango, it's Mango, practice by numbers, Modento, and then
Local Med,
and then Open Dental 6, right? Yeah. This is...
That's 5, isn't it?
Yeah, let's try to do with Flex Book. So okay. You can get, instead of doing Medento and Local Med, Flex and Flex Book is $398 a month.
$398.
Okay. Versus 500, so you'd be saving yourself $100 a month.
Plus
so 170, right? The 398, the 125, and then PBN. So we're at 9. We're under 1,000.
993. Okay. But this is a whole different stack, though, right? Or not that much of a different. We just replaced Local Med and Modento with Flexbook, right? Or Flex.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're replacing 2 softwares with 1.
Now, is the Flexbook the same thing as Local Med, like the exact same thing, or no?
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you asked that. No, Local Med is far superior to anything else that is out there, but it is you can use Flexbook and run a practice, no problem. It's just Local Med is, they've been doing that one thing for so long. They're much better at it. But is it worth the $100 extra a month? At the end of the day, I'm not sure.
I don't know. Is it, Evan, to you?
I mean, I'm buddies with a couple other reps, Vanessa and Mike.
Oh, Vanessa's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have pictures with me with their mascot around, so it would be a shame if I went with Flex. That's just it below the belt.
Oh man, I didn't know we were allowed to bring irrationality into this. I like Yappy's puppy the best. They have the best mascot.
Yeah.
Me and Ghost are buddies, man. We're buddies. Me and the mascot.
I like, you know what, Evan? I like you, man. Me and you make decisions the exact same way. Sometimes like this would make more sense, but no, I have a picture here. So, okay.
This one makes financial sense, but this one has a cute, fluffy mascot.
I'm so say no more. Take my money. So so far what we're getting at is like you really want practice by numbers and Local Med, right? So then maybe the best thing would be the first one. Do you feel like that's a little bit? Honestly, though, like if you were to run the numbers and everything, are you like feeling a little bit overwhelmed right now? Or are you like, no, I kind of got a better picture. I guess I will go with that, or nah, you're like, I still don't with the communication side and the phone side.
No, it's the price tag is more than what I was expecting because initially you're like looking at those old phones and you're going, oh, if I just replace them with VoIP, I'm going to save money. And then your $400 bill just grew into $1,100. And you're like, God damn it, man! Not saving any money. I'm stacking stuff on.
Yeah.
But if you want to run like a practice in the 21st century, like I feel like you need a dashboard and a patient comms and an online scheduling. Like it's just stuff you need to get, dude.
Yeah.
It just you got to have it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that so far I like door number one.
Gotcha. So far we ruled out, I guess, Weave then, right? Or no?
I pretty much ruled that one out, but like other people who aren't tied or preferred the other vendors, we might make sense for them. If they don't want the full bells and whistles, PBN, and a couple of the other ones, if it's $600-700, you could save yourself quite a bit of money. You just want to pay it down first.
Yeah, I think Weave can save you a lot of time. And if you're willing to do the research and interview all these companies, the differences will become like what matters to you will become very apparent. Weave is like, we do everything. You can just sign up and we'll pretty much take care of everything, but you're paying for it.
$700.
Yeah, and I go back to why did I leave Benco 8 years ago? Well, they did IT as a throw-in service to them selling cotton rolls and bibs and stuff like that. They're like, well, we need an IT company just to be competitive. And that's kind of where Weave is going, right? They're just getting enough feature sets regardless of the level of service so that they gobble up as much market share as possible.
Well, there goes my sponsorship with Benco. Thanks, Ruben. I appreciate it.
You can just bleep that out of there.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, so then I guess imaging software so far looks like you may be getting what, Evan?
I'm leaning towards Schick because it's the Tesla, and the rep was in here pitching a buy two get one on the sensors.
Dang.
Yeah, so that sounds pretty good there. So you would get 3 for the price of 2. So you're looking at kind of a wash, and you can get some nicer sensors as long as their warranty is pretty good. It's comparable to Vatex. I think that's where we're going.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay. And then the patient communication software and the phones we kind of just discussed right now. Anything else that we need to like kind of touch or cover when it comes to the software? Because I mean, like, there's still a lot of software out there, but anything else y'all feel?
Yeah,
like
those are your bare bones ones that you need to have in there. And then there's AR software, stuff like that, but I don't know anything about that. I don't know, Ruben, you know of anything else that people plug and play in there?
I mean, everyone is looking at like third-party insurance verification services. They're all over the place because it's just the person that you're working with. If they're good, then you have a good perception of the service. Because it's not like a software program, right? It's almost like an IT company, right? If you have a good tech and a good rep, you're gonna have a good experience. But if you start working with somebody that just they're all over the place in terms of talent and customer service, you're gonna have people with vastly different experiences.
Yeah.
This sparked an idea. Let me see if I can, like, depending on what you decide, Evan, I kind of want to be like, hey man, Evan was on this episode. Get him a deal. Like, like, let's bring something out here where we can make it happen, and then we can all talk about it on an episode, because that'd be pretty awesome, But okay, so yeah. Any other questions or concerns or anything like that you guys wanted to mention?
Concerns? I don't know. Is my room ready in Austin yet, Evan?
Yeah, man, we got it for you right out on the.
I mean, I think COVID plus it being 36 degrees is a high today. This is bull crap.
I know. Hey,
Dude, Texans freak out when it's like it's in the 40s. They're like, it's so cold. Oh my God. It's ridiculous. They have no idea what cold is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty nice over there. Austin, you got a good place, man. Like Austin's really where it's popping right now.
Yeah, it is. I found a practice that was 10 minutes south of downtown. I got a little apartment in downtown, and it sure beats the hell out of New York, man.
Yep, I'm packing up my car right now. I'll be down there soon.
Dude, think about it. New York state tax is 6.5, and the local New York City is 3.8. So, like, I just got a 10% raise right there. I get to keep more of my money right off the bat, even if nothing else changes.
I know, man. I don't know. Maybe.
Come on down to Texas, y'all.
I know, yeah. That's where my whole family lives, so I'm thinking maybe I might do it, or I don't know. But
I can't believe you left Houston to go to LA. You are insane, dude.
I know. I've been here for like about almost 7, 8 years, 9. I don't know. Now it's getting really worse. Like you can tell, it's really bad now.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. So with that being said, Evan, I hope this kind of helped out. If anything, I'm gonna kind of like try because I wrote notes down. I don't know if Brian wrote notes down. I'm pretty sure Brian wrote like the most notes down, and then we can send you like what we kind of discussed. Help you kind of like visualize better what you're gonna get and see if we can, attach like, hey man, Mango's actually doing this deal. Get them now. You know what I mean?
You know what you should do? Attached to this episode, you should have like a little spreadsheet of like what patient comes, check down the list so that people can evaluate it. That'd probably be handy.
Yeah.
Nice little spreadsheet.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Yep.
If a software provider tells you a feature is coming out soon, that means it's coming out in 30 days or 300 months. I mean, it's the amount of bullcrap I hear from, oh, we got that coming soon. It's in development.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's something.
So just make a decision based on what they actually provide right now, not what they're promising.
I heard that same line from an implant rep on Friday. Yeah, it's coming Q1 next year. It's coming Q1. Yeah.
You're like, okay, take my money. No. And then at the same time, you also got to vet all of them, right? Because you can get like that ransomware from third parties. So,
that's a problem. Especially if they have access to your server.
Okay. Well, I'm sitting on a bunch of Bitcoin to pay him, so we'll be all right.
Thank God.
Bitcoin. You got it. I'm telling you guys, Evan's balling like out of control. He's like, I don't know. I'm going to get a house in Austin too, I guess. Another house.
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it.
Alrighty, guys. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being with us. It was a pleasure. But before we say goodbye, Evan, if anybody has any questions or concerns or they want to reach out to you a little bit more and like say like, hey, who'd you end up going with? How can people find you?
Best way to talk to me is probably just by email, and it's just my first name dot my last name at gmail.com. And other than that, that's probably just the best way to do it, man. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm happy to answer any questions at all. Just kind of getting used to this whole ownership thing. So yeah, more than willing to help out.
Awesome. And Ruben and Brian, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on as well. Where can people find you?
If you want to find both of us at the same time, sales@darkhorsetech.com. That hits both of us.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being with us. It was a pleasure, and we'll hear from you soon.
Cool. Thanks, Michael. Thanks.
And that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Evan, Ruben, and Brian, thank you so much for being a part of this episode. Guys, if you want more episodes like this, where it's kind of like a round table, we're all just kind of trying to, you know what I mean? Like find a solution for a specific practice owner, depending on their problem, right? Let me know, because this was so much fun. At least I had a lot of fun. I know, I hope Ruben, Evan, and Brian, you guys had a lot of fun. But if you guys want more episodes like this, please feel free to reach out to me. Go on to thedentalmarketer.org, click connect, and let me know there. Just message me. And yeah, you can let me know. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, it means more than you will ever know. So thank you so much for always tuning in and listening. I truly appreciate it. And that's going to do it for this episode. So thank you so much for tuning in. And guys, I will talk to you in the next episode.